Hello and welcome, psychology students. I am Professor Zeeb. I wanted to officially welcome you to the class. Here we are in summer semester 2025. So I thought I would record this video just to kind of introduce myself so you can kind of get to know me. And sometimes, when you sign up for these classes, you have no idea who this other person is that's grading my assignments and emailing me. Anyway, I'm Professor Zeeb. I'm absolutely pumped to work with all of you. It's going to be an awesome semester here in the summer 2025. So I want to officially welcome you to the class. I have some important announcements. So we're going to go over some guidelines and different announcements in the class. So make sure you watch the entire video here because there's a lot of important information in the video. Number one, get the textbook. So you need the textbook immediately so you can start working on your quizzes and covering the information. The textbook is mandatory and you absolutely need it for your assignments. Okay, so I want to make sure you understand that. Please get the textbook as soon as possible. By the way, I do have a copy of the textbook on reserve at the library. You're able to use this in the library only. I think you can check it out in the library for 2 hours, but that is just for you guys. So if you're waiting for your copy or you can't afford the book right now, that is a great option for you. So remember, on reserve at the library at Valley campus. Make sure you've read the syllabus. So really, really important because I've laid out all of my policies and deadlines on the syllabus. So make sure you read the syllabus very carefully and then email me if you have any questions about the information. Okay, so very important. All right, so this week, because the class is so quick, it's a condensed summer semester, everything happens very fast. So we do have assignments this week that are mandatory, which I'm using for participation. So first of all, there's the discussion. So there's a discussion up and running. I see that some of you have posted already. Thank you very much. The discussions are kind of tricky because they have two due dates. They have the original post due date and then the replies to your peers' due dates. Okay, so it's confusing for students. So remember, there's two due dates, and the one that's listed in the to-do list in Canvas is often the second deadline. So make sure you pay special attention to both due dates, okay? Because if you pass the due date, it will be a zero, unfortunately. So just to kind of clarify for this first discussion, the original post is due on June 13th. So that's your first initial post. Then your two replies are due on June 15th. Okay, so there are two due dates. You have to meet both of them. So once again, original post due on the 13th. The two replies are due on the 15th. So another question I get from students is, Professor Z, where is the work? What am I supposed to be doing? When are we meeting? So we're not doing any online meetings. This is completely asynchronous, which basically means you work on your own as long as you meet the deadlines and get the work done. Okay, and all the deadlines are listed in Canvas and on the syllabus. So to find the work and important information, please go to modules. So modules is on the left side of the page. You click on that, and I've broken up the class into different units, including an orientation module. So make sure you go there and go through all of the information for the class there. Pay special attention to the unit summary. So for each unit, I've created a unit summary, which I've listed all the readings in terms of the order of the assignments and work that you're supposed to do by what date. So that's really a helpful tool for you as a student because it will keep you on track. So those are called the unit summaries found in modules, typically towards the top of each unit. So keep in mind, because this is a summer class, the pace of the course is insane. It's very fast. So this course is designed for a very motivated student. I mean, we're going to be covering on average 2 chapters per week. So that's why I'm saying you need to get the book as soon as possible and then make sure you're paying attention to those unit summaries and covering all the information. Okay, you'll also be taking quizzes for each chapter. Some chapters have 2 quizzes. For example, chapter 4 does. but our first quiz is due on June 12th. Okay, so that will cover chapter 1. And then quiz 2 will be on chapter 2, and that's due on the 15th. So keep in mind the discussions and quizzes are mandatory, especially these beginning quizzes and discussion assignment. I just want to make sure you understand that if you do not complete any of these, you will probably be dropped from the class because I'm using it for active participation. This will show me that you're active in the class and you're completing the work by the deadlines, okay? So once again, you have to complete discussion 1 and the chapter 1 and 2 quizzes. Those are absolutely mandatory, and you will be dropped if you do not complete any of those, okay? So please keep that in mind. With the quizzes, they are timed, and you do get to drop your lowest quiz score. So Canvas will do that automatically for you. You don't need to worry about it. So whatever your lowest quiz score is at the end of the semester, Canvas will automatically drop it. In fact, it drops it as we progress through the course, okay? So you don't need to do anything for that. All right, the next thing I want to talk about is there is a one-time late pass involved in the class. I know that sometimes life happens and you're unable to complete the work sometimes. So for the assignments only, I'm going to allow you to turn in one of those late with a late penalty. Okay, so I'm going to give you a little leeway there. Unfortunately, if you miss the deadline for a second assignment, it will be a 0. So you do get to turn in one assignment late and only one with a late penalty. I believe it's a 20% penalty for missing the deadline, and then you would have 3 days to turn that in. Now, for that to work, you have to email me within 24 hours of the due date, letting me know that you cannot turn the assignment in. So if you do not do that, I will not allow you to use the late pass. So please be responsible. Let me know what's going on. So if you miss a deadline, you have to email me within 24 hours to let me know. Otherwise, it will be a 0. Okay. But anyway, the late pass is in play with the class. Please check your email, your college assigned email account, and the announcements in Canvas daily, especially in a course like this where everything happens so fast. This is the way I'm going to communicate with you. Okay, so you are required to check your email and the announcements daily because those could basically come at any time if I need to contact you. So please be diligent about checking your emails and going to Canvas and checking the announcements. There are no live sessions. So I mentioned this earlier. We are not meeting online. So this is not one of those classes where you attend an online lecture. It's basically self-paced as long as you meet the deadlines. If you need to speak to me, we definitely can do that and we can set up a Zoom meeting, but there are no required online lectures or meetings like, where you have to be there at a certain day and time kind of thing. Next thing I want to talk about is APA format. So all of your assignments in terms of citing your sources have to be in APA format. I'm assuming a lot of you have not done that before. You've never encountered this. So in the orientation module, I put a page there that kind of shows you how to do it. So I've given you examples of what you need. So please make sure you check that out in the orientation module towards the top. You'll see a page called APA formatting. Make sure you look at that. If you have questions, please email me, let me know, and give me time to respond to you. Don't do it the night before something's due, because I may not be online. So give me time to respond to you, but make sure you check that out and then let me know if you have questions. My office hours are every Monday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Zoom. So in Canvas, under the Start Here page, which I hope you have read already, please do that if you have not. I have listed basically my link to my Zoom room, so you can use that to attend office hours from 9 to 10 on Monday mornings. Okay. If that does not work for you, we can always meet some other time. Just email me and let me know, and then we can arrange something. I'm definitely willing to meet with you outside of that. If, like, for example, if you work Monday mornings, I understand. Okay. So if you do need to talk to me or meet with me, let me know, and then we'll figure something out and schedule something. Like I said, make sure you've read the Start Here page. You can find that on the home page. There's a link in that red box. Please go through that if you have not already. So that really lays down a lot of the guidelines in the class. And then remember, always email me if you need help or have questions. All right, well, it's going to be an awesome semester. I'm really excited to meet all of you, virtually, and to be able to work with you and teach you as a professor. So please drop a line if you have questions. I'm here to help you. That's obviously my job, and I love assisting people to meet their goals. So please let me know if you have questions or need help, and we'll see you online.